All right, so protection calls. All right, so right now, 0 is the nose, ones are the inside linebackers, 2 are the 4 eyes in this case, and then 3s are the apex guys. So how do we work that? Well, what happened last year as I was recruiting a kid, I noticed that in the 3-man front, the center, the right guard, and the right tackle were working basically like a 4-man front. And the backside guys were working it like this 4-eye. I don't know if I can circle this thing here. Can I draw on this? This 4-eye right here and this apex guy were 1 LOS, 2 LOS. Well, there you go. So then the biggest dynamic for me was, well, if this nose guard was shaded to the center's right shoulder, and this 4-eye was out here in a 5, okay, and this everybody took a step to the left essentially, and this rush came down. Well, that's just a 4-2. So why are we reinventing the wheel here and calling it stack, odd, nickel, all that stuff? And one of the things that Coach Leach would say to us is get on the ball. He would be fussing at the O-line all the time. Get on the ball, get down, make your call, get going. And so in our mind, it was a little bit easier if we just combined, let's say, Rip and Liz. So Rip is obviously 3 letters, 3 people to the right. Liz, 3 letters, 3 people to the left. And so they are working the same technique that they would work as far as identifying and setting as a group as they would in a 4-man front. So that's one way we kind of simplified it. And what it does is, in this case right here, we're working Rip. So this bubble guard right here, the right guard, his rule is backer, B gap, back to nose, the 3 Bs, right? Backer, B gap, back to nose. And so what we give this guard an identifier, and it says it right here. He's to the zone side. Is he sit, bounce, or bailing? What does that mean? Well, a lot of times linebackers, if they're coming, they're taking a step forward, whatever. They're creeping. They could bail on you. I get all that. But if they're sitting, they're bouncing. That means they're bouncing in their stance, or they're bailing. That means their hips opened up or their foot dropped. That guard knows immediately I'm going B gap. So as he's taking his set, he's looking backer, B gap, back to nose. So if that B gap threat gets there, it allows this. He says sit, bounce, or bail. So he sees this guy bailing. He starts screaming out, 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 out. And if this nickel comes, the tackle can work the 3-man side. So essentially, as we start off, it starts off 0, 1, 2. All right. But it also turns in back A gap, B gap, C gap, just a typical 3-man slide side. On the backside here, this guard is going to treat this like a wide 3 technique. And this tackle is going to treat it like a B gap threat. So he's going to drag set this guy. The guard's going to get into his hip. And then if this 4-eye goes out, he works back inside. Okay. The only time we go ahead and squeeze it is if this mic is already up in the line of scrimmage. And then we give a stay call, and the back and hand signals or whatever to let the back know we're staying. And what I have learned is the more we rep this in its simplicity, the more the backs became aware. Well, I know this guy's down in the A gap. That guard's going to take him. Now my eyes are going outside. So very few busts. I'm not saying it's perfect. Nothing is in football, but